Yo, Jägermeisters, what's up? I am the Real Manos, and I have new comic reviews of Fate. They're brought to you by my own comic book series. I publish through Primal Paper Comics. It's called Red Knight. You may have heard of it. I may have mentioned it once or twice. Issues 1 through 6 are available right now at my Manos, I always mess this up, Manos Publishing at Etsy.com. Or PrimalPaperComics.com. What's cool about PrimalPaperComics.com is you can find other books like The Ends, Willpower, Dogs and Sailors, 41, which is being reprinted, by the way. And you can check out the Primal Paper Comics free Comic Book Day special. It's free, just download it. You can look at all 5 of our titles and get a look-see if there's anything you like. Well, let's dig into some cool comic book stuff. Let's start with some Marvel stuff. I have a couple things from previous weeks. I've kind of been away. I'm sorry. July is a really busy month for me. This is new. This is the Hawkeye Annual, #1. And I'm sure, knowing DC and Marvel, next year we'll have Hawkeye Annual #1, because #1s are so much cooler. But this really is the first Hawkeye Annual, to be fair. And what's interesting is, since Kate Bishop calls herself Hawkeye, well, let's pay more attention to her in this issue. And as you can probably guess, this picks up a small thread from a previous issue where she had infiltrated this group of super villains in order to find out where Clint had been kidnapped and kept. What she did was she knocked out Madame Mask and took her place. Tied her up and threw her into her closet. Well, Madame Mask really didn't take to that very well. So, ever since then, she's been plotting a revenge on her. Now, this issue starts with, actually picks up where it left off during the Pizza Dog issue, where he only kind of sort of makes out the fact that they decided to part ways, and Pizza Dog goes with Kate Bishop. And we get to hear that actual conversation, which is actually a nice touch, because we only heard parts of it. We got the gist of it, but we didn't really, hear the whole conversation. Well, we hear the whole conversation here, which I think is pretty smart. Meanwhile, Madame Mask makes her plans, and let's see, Kate Bishop decides to leave Clint and also split from her dad, go out west, and sort of make a mark on her own for a while and just kind of figure things out for herself. Apart from the Young Avengers and everything, just being her and Pizza Dog. And instantly, 10 minutes Ed, Madame Mask ruins everything for her, gets everything taken away from her, and poses as a helpful friend who might help her out. But at the same time, Kate's not stupid. She's kind of onto her already. So what's going to happen? Is she going to kill Kate before she figures out how to get away? Well, of course not. She's Kate Bishop. She's Hawkeye. This is fantastic. This is by Matt Fraction. And let's see, who's the artist on this? He was the one who did the videotape issue, too. Appropriately enough. Havar Pulo, I can pronounce his name, but I love his work, actually. I was trying to remember, I was trying to think of who his work reminds me of. I instantly thought of like some Jack Kirby stuff, and some maybe Steve Ditko stuff. The first time around I saw him working on this comic, and I don't know, I also think maybe Jamie Hernandez from Love and Rockets, his stuff kind of reminds me of. I absolutely love his work. I'm not sure if everybody digs him or not, or, whenever the regular artist takes a break, everyone's all pissed. It's like, oh, you should have him do it. I actually like this guy a lot. I also like, in particular, the way he draws Kate Bishop. There's a lot of character in her face when he draws her, and she seems like a teenager, too. Instead of like a fully grown adult or something like that. Highly recommend this. This is my pick of the week. This is a fantastic comic. Get this book. 5 Ram Chips. This is a book from, I think, last week. This is FF number 9. Number 9. And this is written by Matt Fraction, of course. Mike Allred took a break with this issue, but Laura Allred actually still colored it, so it does still have that kind of Allred feel to it. Joe Quinzones did the art, and this is a film by Bentley23, and he is doing a short film on these kind of amphibious kids. What are their names? I never quite get their name. Vil and View, and he starts the film like this. He's sitting there reading a book, and he goes, "Oh, hello, I didn't see you there." I read that panel, and I thought, okay, this book automatically gets 5 RAM chips for that. But, oh, hey, there's more stuff in the book besides that panel. You get to see the whole FF and the Future Foundation troop go to visit this Julian, this rich man named Julian, and his Julian Enterprises penthouse in this giant pool. He invites them to check things out. Once he gets the FF separated and talks to them, he tells them, I'm an immortal alien that the Fantastic Four helped out, which coincidentally they helped out in issue 3 thousands of years ago, but time travel has kind of caught up. And now he's in the present, and his life has turned out pretty well because of the Fantastic Four and what they did for him. So he wants to help repay them, and he knows what kind of plight they're going through now, so he makes an offer that they are going to go help. And meanwhile, you get to see a little bit more of the kids. This is definitely a character issue, not so much a plotty issue, although it is set up for what's coming up next month, which I assume Mike Allred will be back. It's a fun summer issue. I love little kind of like character books like this that take a break from the big hard action. But some stuff is coming up next. This is a lot of fun. This is going to be a 5 RAM chip. I love this book. Let's go to a crossover. And this is #1 of the Rocketeer and the Spirit. Pulp Friction by Mark Waid and Paul Smith. And this is the first comic I have bought with a DC logo in a while. But you know what? This ain't New 52. This is, to me, this is an IDW book. And the Spirit is owned by DC, but he's not really, I don't know. I'm not even still sure if I consider him a DC character still at this point. They're just watching the store for Will Eisner. Alright, this story begins in 1941, where there is this, there's this politician. He wants to block this agreement that these big business guys were taking part of with this newfangled invention called television. Anyway, he turns up dead. Matter of fact, within a day, not in Chicago, not in the Windy City, well actually, excuse me, Central City. Not in the Central City, which is in, well, Chicago. But he turns up dead in, I don't know, the next morning, not even 24 hours, in Los Angeles. Betty finds him, finds his body. Now that's, of course, a bit of a mystery. In 1941, killing someone and dumping the body in L.A. Is kind of a feat. So the Spirit and his crew go to investigate. Of course, they run into Peavy. He overhears what they have in mind, and he's afraid that they're involved with people that killed the politician, and they're out to get Betty next, which of course results in the classic heroes misunderstanding fighting. Normally that's something I find cliched and annoying, but the way it's done here is really charming and fun. And you know what? These characters actually work really well together, not just Spirit and Rocketeer, but their supporting casts as well. Yeah, I think I'm digging this a lot. I'm going to keep buying this. Mark Waid, I don't know if you can do wrong or not. I know if that idea, if that's possible. I'm sure, but, you know, I haven't seen it. This is 5 RAM chips. Go check it out if you like either the Rocketeer or the Spirit. Dig it out. Or Mark Waid. This is a good Mark Waid story, too. 5 RAM chips. And this is from last month and this month. I decided to pick up this book. I'm a big fan of Greg Rucka. I don't really talk about Greg Rucka much because I really haven't been reading his stuff lately. He has a new book from Image called Lazarus. And I picked up issues 1 and 2. And this is by Greg Rucka and Michael Lark, who I believe worked with him on Dare... No. That was with Brubaker. But I think if I'm not mistaken, I have to go back and check. I think Michael Lark did work on Daredevil at one point. All right. This takes place in not so much a future, but an alternative kind of present. Excuse me. Where corporations pretty much run the world, and they're all referred to as families. Roughly about around 5 families really control American world. And they have these sort of like, I don't know, I guess you'd call them protectors or champions that they call Lazarus. And they seem to be pumped up with these superpowers, actually, where they can't really die. I don't know, they don't die easy. Matter of fact, that's shown. Let's see, the Lazarus of the Carlisle family, who was one of the more powerful families, and will be the family that is the centerpiece of this story, is a woman named Forever Carlisle, and she's basically, from what I can tell from the first couple of issues, born and bred to be the Lazarus. And in the first opening sequence, some people break into one of their headquarters. She's there, and they, shoot the fucking shit out of her. And leave. They essentially wanted to just break in and steal food or something like that. And she gets up and basically kills the shit out of them. It's a pretty, graphic sequence. Really exciting, a little horrific. It's actually really amazing way to introduce the character. Anyway, there is some sort of series of break-ins, and what they fear is an invasion from another family. And this issue deals with one of the break-ins right here, where her brother, who is, I don't know, I'm guessing her brother is going to turn out to be one of the villains of this series. And he just wants everybody at this station just dead, and unless somebody confesses. Well, one of the old men confesses, even though Forever doesn't believe he actually did it, but she feels like, oh, I gotta kill this guy, otherwise I have to kill everyone here. So he has a really good line. He talks about how the Carlisles talk about family, but they really have no idea what that means. Pick it up from here, where her father suspects that there is something amiss in the Carlisle family. We get to meet more of her siblings, by the way, who are kind of cold, evil people. These aren't really nice people, actually, that run this family. Although we do have, there is a connection between her and her father, actually. So you get the feeling, so far, you get the feeling that maybe the family has gone into a direction that he isn't really proud of and was hoping to go into. And he only trusts her. So he sends her on a mission at this issue. Now, what that mission is, I don't know, but it's to Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is a shithole, essentially. The Carlisle family pretty much, let's see, I forgot which family ran that, but essentially, there was a huge earthquake that tore the city apart, and the families just repaired what they needed to. They didn't really need to go all out, so they didn't. Anyway, she goes there to meet somebody from a rival family, which they suspect are the ones that are trying to attack them. It's funny, there's the scene where this guy is following her. She gives a child a note to hand to him, this man who's following her. He picks up the note and he says, if you keep following me, I'm going to kill you. Oh, that made me laugh, actually. This is a pretty intriguing series. I'm going to keep buying this for the time being. The art is really grounded and realistic, and not too realistic where, it's boring to look at. It's kind of has a nice mixture of grittiness and comic book art to it. I'm digging it so far. I'm pretty intrigued. I'm going to get both first and second issue 4 Ram chips. If you're liking Greg Rucka and you're wondering what he's up to, I'd probably check these out. It's an interesting book. And I am not going to review this just yet. I'm still catching up, but I just want to let you know that I'm going to start picking up Invincible. I've been reading the last couple issues, and I think it's really cool. I picked up issue 103. Issue 104 came out, I think, a week or two ago. I'm going to pick that up and start reviewing it either with that issue or 105, something like that. But yeah, if you're interested in what I have to talk about, Invincible, I'm going to start talking about this in upcoming reviews. By the way, if you haven't picked up Invincible, I do recommend checking out. Start with issue 100, I think, or at least I think issue 98. I think is the beginning of the Death of Everybody storyline, which I think is a hilarious title for a story. Robert Kirkman and Ryan Oatley are doing this book, and the art is just fantastic. I've been really digging it, and I've started, I think I have one of the trades over here, the first story arc, so I'm going to start kind of digging into it. But, you know, like the old days when I was a kid, before there was the internet or tons of comic book stores, I would go and pick up, you know, my comics at 7-Elevens. I didn't wait until the story arc. I just picked up that month's issue. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just jumping into this book. And I'm digging it a lot. So in future reviews, you're going to be seeing me talk about this book. I think that's it for now, so push the button, Lindsay.